The yarn I used to make this hat is called Big Twist. It is 100% acrylic and it's a size 4 yarn, but you can make this hat with your scrap yarn, any yarn that you have lying around. This is a perfect project for it. I'm going to be using a 3.75 millimeter hook, and okay, it's a 5.00 millimeter hook, and this big hook is for the ruffles. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. We're starting with a magic ring, and this is how I do mine. You can make yours in any way you know how to. So you're going to create something like this, which gives us this circle in the middle. Insert your hook and pull up a loop like so. Then you're going to chain 3. The chain 3 is going to count as our first double crochet. Then yarn over, and in the magic ring you are going to make a double crochet, that's 2 double crochets in there, yarn over, back in the same ring you're going to make a 3rd double crochet, you're going to continue making double crochets in that circle until you have a total of 12 double crochets, including the first chain 3 that we started with. After making the 12 double crochets, double check, count your stitches and make sure that it is exactly what you have. And after that, you are going to pull the tail to close the ring. So pull it tight and remember to weave that tail in later, don't just cut it off. Okay? After that, you're going to slip stitch on top of the chain 3 that we started with. So close the ring, chain 1, get your scissors and cut off the yarn. And we're going to be changing colors, so on top of that same stitch we slip stitched into, we're going to insert our hook, make a slip knot with a new color. Then we're going to attach it on that same stitch. That is the same stitch we slip stitched into. Chain 1. Then add 2 more chains. Then yarn over, and in that same space you're going to insert your hook. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook for the 2nd time, pull up a loop, yarn over for the 3rd time, insert your hook, pull up a loop, then pull through everything like so. Chain 2, yarn over, and on top of the next stitch we are going to do what we just did here. So insert your hook 3 times, and once you are done with that, you're going to pull through everything. Chain 2, and then we're going to repeat that in all the stitches that we have. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop for the 3rd time, and then pull through everything. Keep repeating this, making a cluster and a chain 2 until you get to the end of the round. Okay, this is my last one. Okay, after that chain 2 and then slip stitch on top of the first stitch. Insert your hook and pull through. Okay, for the next row, we're going to chain 1 and cut off the yarn because we're going to change colors again. So this is what you should be having. So you can now insert your hook anywhere in the chain 2 space that you want, and you can also double check and make sure you have a total of 12 clusters. After the row of clusters, you're going to insert your hook anywhere in the chain 2 space, make a slip knot with your new color, and you're going to attach it in that chain 2 space. Okay, chain 2, yarn over and make 3 double crochets in that same space. Chain 2, yarn over, back in that same space, make 3 double crochets like so. Yarn over and make 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space. That's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, yarn over, in the next chain 2 space you're going to make 3 double crochets. Then the next space is going to be our second corner, just like this one. So yarn over, make 3 double crochets, chain 2, yarn over, make 3 more double crochets in that same space, and that marks the end of our second corner. Okay, then in the next chain 2 space we're going to make 3 double crochets, yarn over, make 3 double crochets in the next space. Then we're going to make our third corner, so in the next chain 2 space make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space. Then we're going to repeat that, and then we're going to make our fourth corner. So yarn over and in the next space make 3 double crochets, make 3 double crochets in the next space, yarn over, make 3 double crochets in the next space, chain 2, 3 more double crochets all in that same space to make our fourth corner. Okay, this is what you should have. Then in the next chain 2 space you're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets, just like we've been doing. Make 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space. This is what you should have. Then you're going to slip stitch on top of the first stitch, on top of the first double crochet. So this is the end of row 3. We're now going to make row 4. So slip stitch on top of the next 2 stitches until you get to the chain 2 space. Then chain 2, and in that same space you're going to make 3 double crochets. So yarn over, make 3 double crochets in that space, chain 2, 3 more double crochets all in the same space. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to skip 3, and in the next space right here you're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets, yarn over, skip 3, and in the next space make 3 double crochets. This is what you should have. Yarn over, skip 3, and in the next space make a cluster of 3 double crochets. Now we are on our second corner and we're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space. And we're going to repeat the pattern that we just did for this row so far, and that's what we're going to repeat. Okay. So you're simply going to skip the next 3 stitches and make 3 double crochets in the next space. Skip 3, make 3 double crochets in the next space. Skip 3 double crochets and make a cluster in the next space. Then the next space is a chain 2 space where we make the corner. So make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space. And after that you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay? I'm at the end of my row and I'm going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. So insert your hook and pull through. Chain 1, get your scissors and cut the yarn. So our first square is done, and we're now going to make the pentagon. I still have all these ends to weave in, which I'll be doing here shortly. But before that, we're going to make the pentagon. I'm going to show you how to make the pentagon. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners, okay? Just like we did with the square, you're going to start with a magic ring or a magic circle. Insert your hook, pull up a loop. Chain 3. And inside the ring you're going to make a total of 14 double crochets for a total of 15, counting the chain 3 as our first double crochet. Okay, so I have 3 here. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. I'm going to continue making double crochets until I have a total of 15, and then I'll show you guys what to do next after this. Once you have a total of 15 double crochets, you're going to pull this strand to close the ring, like so. And then you're going to slip stitch right on top of that first chain 3 that we made. So insert your hook and pull through everything. Chain 1. Get your scissors and cut off the yarn because we're going to change colors again, just like we did with the square. So row 2, we're going to repeat this row 2 we made for the square as well. So insert your hook on top of that same stitch you slip stitched into. Make a slip knot with your second color. Then you're going to attach it. Okay, chain 1 to secure the yarn. Then you're going to add 2 more chains. Going to insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same space, pull up a loop, and you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, insert your hook into the same space, pull up a loop, and this time you'll end up with 7 loops on your hook. Then pull through all the 7 loops, just like that. Then you're going to chain 2, yarn over, Then on top of the next stitch, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook again in that same space, pull up a loop, yarn over the third time, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and you should have 7 loops, and pull through all. Chain 2, and then you're going to repeat that across. Insert your hook 3 times in the same space. Chain 2, into the same stitch, you're going to insert your hook 3 times, and at the end you'll have 7 loops, and pull through all. Then chain 2 and repeat that pattern until you get to the end. So at the end of your second row, make sure you have a total of 15. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And at the end of the row, remember to chain 2 and then slip stitch on top of that first double crochet, like so. Chain 1, get scissors and cut off the yarn. You should have something like this. I'm going to make a slip knot. I'm going to insert it right in this chain 2 space. Chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, yarn over into that same space, make a double crochet, yarn over into that same space, make a second double crochet and a third one. So you have 3 double crochets right here. Then chain 2, and you're going to make 3 double crochets into this same space. This is what you should have. So once you're done with this, you're going to yarn over, and into this next chain 2 space, you're going to insert your hook and make 3 double crochets all in that same space. Yarn over again into the next chain 2 space, make 3 double crochets. Into the next space, you're going to make a corner, so you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets in the same space. Should have something like this. Then yarn over into the next chain 2 space, you're going to make 3 double crochets, yarn over into the next chain 2 space, you're going to make 3 double crochets, yarn over into the next chain 2 space, you're going to make our third corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets all in that same space. Like that. Then yarn over, make 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, yarn over, make 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, Then the next space is going to be a corner, so make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets in the same space. So you have this. So every corner is separated by these 2 clusters. Then you're going to yarn over, make 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, yarn over, make 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, then you're going to yarn over and make your last corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more doubles in the same space. Then make 3 doubles into the next chain 2 space, and 3 more doubles into the next chain 2 space. And at the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet, like so. So for our last row, you're going to slip stitch until you get to the chain 2 space here. So slip stitch on top of the next 2 stitches and in the chain 2 space, like that. Then chain 2, yarn over and make 3 double crochets in that same chain 2 space. This is our first corner for this row, which is the last one as well. So chain 2 and make 3 more double crochets in that same space. Okay, after that yarn over and you're going to skip the next 3 double crochets, and in this little space you're going to make 3 double crochets. Yarn over, skip 3 and make 3 double crochets in the next space. Yarn over, skip 3 and make 3 double crochets into the next space. Yarn over, and now in the chain 2 space we're making a corner of 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, all in that same space. Then yarn over, skip 3, in the next space make 3 double crochets, yarn over, skip 3 and make 3 double crochets into the next space, and you're going to repeat this until you get to the other side, until you get to the end of the round. So continue making 1 cluster in every space and making a corner where we have a chain 2 space, just like we did with the previous row before this one. So go all the way around and then I'll meet you guys at the end. When you get to the end, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. So pull through everything, chain 1. Get your scissors and cut the yarn, and this is what you should have. After making the pentagon, you're going to need a total of 5 squares just like this one, and if you're making a bigger size, you're going to repeat row 4 and add an extra row. But since this is going to be for my child, my 2-year-old, this is enough for me. Okay, so now that we have our 1 pentagon in the middle, then we have our 5 squares. Each is going to be attached on one side of our pentagon. Okay, so we're going to join starting from here, here, and remember to join from the wrong side. I'm going to be using this color to attach all the squares to the pentagon. So I'll make a slip knot, and I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to kind of do it like this. So this is the wrong side and this is the wrong side, so the right sides are facing each other. I'm going to start from the corner right here, and I'm going to pull through the yarn. Insert your hook in that same space in the corner where you attached your yarn. So make a single crochet in that space. Single crochet on top of the next stitch for both sides. So we're going through both the triangle and the pentagon at the same time. So insert your hook on top of every stitch and make a single crochet. And you're going to repeat this until you get to the end. This here is my last stitch. So I'm going to make a single crochet right there. And this is what I have. So I'm now going to get my square, and I'm going to attach it on this side where I have my working yarn and my hook. So I'm simply going to put it like so. And I'm going to insert my hook through the chain 2 space and the chain 2 space of my pentagon. So go through both at the same time and single crochet. So now we're going to single crochet across. So on top of the next stitch and on top of the next stitch of the pentagon, we're going to single crochet. And we're going to single crochet through both sides until we get to the end, and then we're going to attach the rest of the squares the same way. Okay, so here I have attached my second square, and I'm now going to attach my next one right here. Go through the corner at the same time. Then make one single crochet on top of every stitch for both sides until you get to the end. Now that our squares has been attached to the pentagon, we are now going to join the sides of the squares together, the same way we attached the squares to the pentagon. Okay, so we're going to join them like so until all of them are attached to each other. Okay, let's go. And we're going to start right from where we are right now. Starting from the chain 2 space, we're going to insert our hook in both squares at the same time and make a single crochet on top of the next stitches for both squares. So you're basically inserting your hook in both stitches at the same time and making a single crochet. You're going to repeat this until you get to the next chain 2 space. And after that, you're going to cut off your yarn and reattach it on the other side of the squares, and you're going to join them the same exact way. Remember to single crochet in the chain 2 space chain 1, and then cut off the yarn. And then you can reattach your yarn on the other side of the 2 squares and join them just like we just did here. It's the same thing. After attaching all the squares to each other, this is how your work is going to look. Then you're going to flip it so the wrong side is inside and the right side is out. Before we start the ribbing, we're going to make a row of single crochet. So in this first chain 2 space, I'm going to make a single crochet on top of the next stitch, single crochet on top of the next stitch, single crochet on top of the next, and you're going to repeat that until you get back to the end. Okay. Then when you get to the next chain 2 space, you'll place there a single crochet as well in each space, and you're going to repeat until you get to the end of the round. Once you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch on top of the very first single crochet that you made. So insert your hook and pull through. And at this point, this is how your work should be looking. So we're now going to start the ruffles. You're going to chain 2, and in that same space, you're going to make a double crochet. And you're going to insert your hook and make 2 more double crochets for a total of 3, like so. Then you're going to skip 2 and into the next, make 3 double crochets, like so. Yarn over, skip 2 and into the third, make 3 double crochets. Yarn over, skip 3 and into the next, make 3 double crochets, and you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So repeat until you get to the end of the round, and I'll meet you there. Alright, I'm at the end of my row and I have 1, 2, 3 stitches left, and I'm simply going to skip all 3 and slip stitch on top of the first double crochet like this, then chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, turn our work, and in this first space we're going to be working in these spaces, skipping every cluster. So in this first space that we have, we're going to make 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, then back in that same space, make 3 double crochets, chain 2. In that same space, you're going to make 3 more double crochets. Okay, so you will have something like this. We have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, all in the same space, and we're going to do this in every space until we get back to the end. And when we do this, we are making increases to create our ruffles for our hat. So we're making the ruffles, okay? So make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space. Yarn over, make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space. I'm going to keep repeating this until I get to the end, and then I'll be back to show you guys what to do next. Okay, I have reached the end of my first row for the ruffles, and as you can see, they have already formed, and this is how it looks. I still have all these strands to cut. So once you get to the end, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. It's right here. So after this row, I'm going to change colors, but if you don't plan on changing colors, once you slip stitch, you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and in this first space right here, you're going to place there 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. After that, you're going to yarn over, and in the next chain 2 space, you will make 3 double crochets. And basically, this is what we are going to repeat, making 3 double crochets in every chain 2 space, and this space between the 3 clusters that we made that are in the same space. Okay, so I'll be changing colors. I just wanted to quickly show those who won't be changing colors how to continue after making the slip stitch. Okay, so after the slip stitch, I'm going to chain 1, then I'll cut the yarn, put that aside. All right, so I'm going to make a slip knot. Then I'm going to attach my yarn anywhere. I will attach from where I left off. Remember, we're turning our work. So in this first space, I'm going to insert my hook and pull through the loop. Chain 2, which does not count as a stitch. Then in that same space, you're going to make 3 double crochets. And remember, we are turning our work after every row. So after making my previous row, I have turned my work to start this new row. Then yarn over, and in the next chain 2 space, I'm going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. Make 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space. Make 3 double crochets in the next space right here, and we're going to continue making 3 double crochets in every space until we get to the end. All right, I'll continue making 3 double crochets in every space, and I'll meet you guys here at the end. I'm at the end of the row, and I'm now going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. And we're now going to repeat that row that we just completed, and you can make as many rows as you like. I'll continue with my yellow color, I think, and then yeah, I'll be back once I'm done, and I will tell you guys how many rows I ended up making. But I'm really trying to finish up all my scrap yarn like this. I'm going to attach this once again until I finish with all my scrap yarn. Okay, so repeat this row too. So repeat this row over and over until you have your desired length. Chain 2, turn your work, yarn over, and in this first space you're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. skip the next 3, and in the next space make 3 double crochets, skip the next 3 and make 3 double crochets in the next space, skip the next 3 and make 3 double crochets in the next space. Okay, repeat like that until you get to the end. Change colors if you have to, and I'll be back once I'm done. I made it to the last row, and I'm going to slip stitch and chain 1. So I didn't have enough colors to work another row with this one, but so far I love how it looks. So you can continue and make yours bigger than this, but for me, I'm going to stop right here because I have run out of yarn. But this is perfect for my daughter, as you have seen in the pictures. Yeah, it fit her perfectly. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.